So Aris, is he here? Is he here? Can you see him? Yo, Aris, if you're here, then comment, because I can't find you now. I just look for you. You are tuned into Fruits and Roots TV live, coming to you from Thailand. Yo, this me tell you now. Let me just try and find him. Where am I? He commented. Oh, he's still here. I'm looking though. I can't see him now. So the first question I have is the CMOS question, and then we're gonna get onto the alcohol question. He did. He's here. Aris, comment again, because there's too many people commenting. I can't see your comment. Scrolling, but it's just like a whole bag of people. A whole bag of people for talk. There's like literally over 1,000 comments. There's only 700 people. He keeps saying he's here, but I can't find him. Aris, comment. It made me realize how when like a live stream is popping and so many people are coming, there you are, and so many people, it puts the comments in order. So it's like you post a comment and you get put into a queue almost of like 30-40 comments. Go live. I've got him now. Too much. There was so many people commenting. I couldn't find you. The first question that we didn't get to go through is, can you iodine overdose from having CMOS? Can you overdose on CMOS?
No, not necessarily. You know, it's well, see, the minerals that are in the sea vegetables, they call them trace minerals. So they're like basically dealing with microgreens kind of level of you know, potency. But still, you know, it depends on your level of activity, pretty much, because, you know, football also is a bulking, you know, agent as well. You know, so you can't eat too much of it and don't be busy. You know, so you don't be busy. You have to get out and burn it. You know, nutrients are not to be consumed in big, massive amount and stored up. You know, you're supposed to be, you know, expended and replenished on a constant basis. You know, so but generally it's pretty much like most of these natural foods, is that the body reaches a point of its own saturation where it can tell, and you automatically lose the desire for it. The thing is, once we clean up our system and we get in touch with what's going on inside and be able to read the signals, you know, that is coming, you know, from the brain to and from the brain for the rest of the body, then the system knows when to shut down until you had enough. It's like the same way you climb on sugar and then you don't want no more fruits, you know. Similar situation.
Okay. The next question was, we touched the other day, or a while ago, we touched on ganja. A sister came in, she did come in and she wanted to touch on alcohol and wine. A lot of people in their house right now are drinking liquor because they don't have nothing to do. So they're in the house and they're just drinking wine, which if you distill it is just cooked sugar. But what are your opinions on wine and its effects on the body? Not palm wine, just commercial wine and liquor.
Yeah, well, see, these types, it depends on basically the condition of your body. Because that's why I say, for example, People who drink hard liquor, they generally consume lots of meat. And the harder the liquor, the more rare they want their meat.
Mm-hmm.
Those two things sort of go hand in hand, you know, because if you don't, the liquor is fuel for fire. The same way you use it to burn up bacteria and, you know, germs and stuff on your hands. Right now, everybody under the alcohol thing, you wash your hand with a little bit of alcohol. But of course, that isopropyl alcohol, it just evaporates immediately. But the liquor alcohol, the hard liquor alcohol, don't evaporate like that. It needs a source now to cook. It needs something to burn up. So
Mm-hmm.
ideally, this is where you want to feed it some meat. And this is why, you know, because if you don't give it something to cook, some meat to cook, it's going to cook your liver. And they can tell you got cirrhosis of the liver.
People at steakhouses are always drinking like whiskey and bourbon and Hennessy and these type of things. So they eat their rare steak and then they drink their liquor because yeah, I get it now. I never knew that.
Yeah, the liquor drinkers need the steak. The steak eaters need the liquor. Need something to process that meat before it rots in the system. You know, and you know, basically with maggots and worms and all of that kind of stuff. But eventually it still will. And it's the same thing now with the wine and cheese business. You know, that wine and cheese, you see them always bust up together.
Yeah, why? Why?
It's the same. Now, this is basically a byproduct. The cheese is a byproduct from the animal itself. It's the pus, you know. So a milder alcohol would work well. So they go hand in hand. So and the wine, you know, they're dealing mostly with grape juice or some form of fruit juice, you know. So these things now have digestive enzymes in them that is going to help you to process these stuff, to process certain foods, you know, especially starch, the pasta and the wine also.
So quite Italian. So what effect does that have on your body when you consume a steak and liquor or wine and cheese? Like inside of you, when that goes into you, what does that do on a cellular level? What does it what because you the way that you said it kind of seemed like a solution. There'll be people at home going, well, you know, if I eat meat, I'm just going to drink some liquor, or if I eat cheese, I'm just going to drink some wine. What does that do?
Yeah, well, see what we're doing, we're really tying ourselves up in a maze. So eventually we have to unwind this stuff because none of these two, especially together like that, is going to bring us any nutritional value whatsoever. And it's not going to leave our system. We actually build up an intolerance for it or tolerance for it that we need more and more. You know, and this is when you go over the tip, you go over the edge, and you just can't stop drinking. So it definitely has an addicting effect. So that's why eventually they send you to some sort of detox center. But most of the time they want to address the liquor. They're not trying to address even the meat because automatically you go to a alcoholic, you know, AYA or whatever, you know, then, and they get you off of that, then you automatically going to see your meat intake is going to reduce drastically. Your desire is going to reduce drastically. But then, you know, there are medical complications that come with all of these things. But still, I think for me, you know, moderation with a lot of these things is crucial. Because yes, they do have their value, but on a certain level. Now, besides the things that I mentioned, now you got to even deal with the nitrates and all of the chemicals in the meat and the alcohol that you're creating a chemical time bomb within your system. And this is where a lot of us, we don't see these other layers, you know, as part of, you know, coming from the same cause. So ideally, you know, if you're going to drink some liquor, especially wine, you can make your own wine. You know, you can make your own one, but see the issue now, a lot of us go put the yeast in the thing. You know, even your homemade wine, you go put the yeast. What is yeast? It's a fungus that creates another level of issue. So let it ferment naturally. Let it ferment naturally. You could make, you know, say sorrel wine. You know, you could make a pimento liqueur with pimento and cane juice. Just bury this up there in a barrel now. You know, but you have to get the right pimento, you know, the whole seeds when they ripe. Now, when they dry, and you mix it with the fresh sugarcane juice, barrel it up and bury it for a few months now. Take your time. So it's time and patience also involved in these things that we don't even want to get involved ourselves directly. It's too inconvenient. So we go buy something that's, you know, going to create a whole big challenge for us.
And then you say moderate. So don't drink a whole heap of liquor. And the meat, the fruit is your meat. Or you can make cheese from fruit, from nut cheese or seed cheese or whatever, right? Because you're not advocating that people eat steak, right?
No, no. Well, look, what I'm drinking right here, this noni, this is a wine, you know. This is wine. I take the noni when it's ripe, when it's ready, before it gets overripe on the tree. You harvest it and you put it in a jar, close it for at least 10 days. I like to leave mine for 30 days. But also I would take that jar and bury it in the earth as well. So when I uncork it 30 days later, I'm actually drinking noni wine. There is a trace of alcohol in here. It's actually, it's a vinegar. Noni is a super vinegar. It would never spoil. You don't have to refrigerate it. And you could use it now to pickle your pepper sauce and then something other than just using the white vinegar and all those, you know, stuff. Make your own. But of course, we're not living in a place where these things grow.
So noni clean up. Noni helps to clean.
Oh yeah, noni is a complete cellular detoxifier.
Right.
It removes toxins from all the cells in the body simultaneously, right away. You're not gonna get any mad rush. You're not gonna, you know, it's not like having a diarrhea or anything like that when all these toxins come out. The way it's gonna be manifested, where you know that you've been drinking noni, is when you drop a load, the load is gonna be bigger. You're not gonna rush to the bathroom, but you're gonna see like, where did all this S come from? The same system, but you add a whole lot more jumping into the pipe because you've been drinking the noni. What I had this morning was aloe vera. I get the aloe, and I have a fresh plant right by my door. You know, I have one on one side, aloe on one side of the door, and the next side of the door I have my leaf of life, and I mix those together. So I put the aloe and the leaf. I peel the aloe, take the gel, put it in the blender, you know, or the juicer. I usually like to juice it because in the blender it foams up too much. It picks up too much oxygen, so it gets oxidized very quickly. So I would peel it and run it through a slow juicer. Or even if you have a juicer that's not slow, push it in slowly. Don't rush it through. Just gently push it in, and you're going to see all you're going to get is juice. You're not going to get any pulp coming out. If you're getting pulp coming out, you're putting it too fast, or your juicer don't work. You might just have a toy or something like that that call a juicer, but you need a good strong juicer. But I would put that in with the leaf of life, and I made an aloe leaf of life juice this morning. I had a whole 8-ounce glass of that. May I tell you, it hit the system so nice. Of course, the flavor is going to really, for a lot of us, is going to put a barrier there, you know. So if you want to like neutralize the flavor a little bit, I'll run some pineapple in the juicer as well. You know, run some pineapple. So pineapple make it taste real nice, you know. But see, the aloe vera, that Cinco Bible we call in Jamaica, you know, it's a cellular detoxifier as well, but it's a smart one. Because it slides the toxins out of the cell, and immediately it seals the cells back so the toxins don't get reabsorbed. Because this is a challenge with a lot of the detox systems that we use today, is that the toxins come out, but then jump back in quick. You know, that's why you go jam something and it just defeat the whole purpose of having taken the formula. So, and this is where aloe works really beautiful. And besides that, it also has a mild laxative effect. So whatever is released, it helps the body push it out completely. And this is a marvelous thing. So these are the kind of things that we need to look at, you know, and do on a daily basis. You know, a nice smooth mover. Aloe is absolutely a nice smooth mover.
Iris. So the next question is, no nutritional yeast then to substitute for cheese. So is nutritional yeast beneficial? Is it a food? How did it happen? Why are people putting that into their
That's
cheese?
the question. The first question is it a food? It's not
Mm,
food. It's a
mm,
fungus. It's a
mm,
fungus. You know,
mm.
it basically grows. Well, we know how it grows. It doesn't grow from a seed. It doesn't grow from a plant. You know, it attaches itself. You know, just like mushrooms. You know, I have some of my brothers and sisters who really swear about mushrooms and adore. I mean, I have no problem with it. You know, but I know for me, mushroom is a poison.
Mm-hmm.
Mushroom is a poison. It's a fungus. Fungus is fungus. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, it's they call them spores too.
Yeah.
Spores are spores. It's a
Okay.
whitehead, not a blackhead. It's a whitehead that come out to the earth. It's a toxic release from the earth. When you say after the rain and the mushroom then pop up all around in your yard, this is detox. These are whiteheads. Same like you have pimples popping up in your face. It's the same thing that's going on with the earth. You know, so so these things produce a lot of yeast. And the whole
Mm.
something about nutritional yeast. Why they put the word nutritional in front of it? Huh? Yeast is yeast. So to get that cheesy taste, what do I use? You better come to school, you know. I use noni. I use
Okay.
noni juice in
Okay.
my cashew cheese.
Okay.
You talking, you know, some expensive European cheese flavor. This is
Mm,
natural culture.
mm.
Natural culture. You know,
Uh,
so these are the kind of things, you know, that I'm looking forward to sharing with the family. You know, I just did a coconut milk. I did a
okay.
coconut milk with coconut water, just the mature coconut, and also I did a walnut milk. And for those who don't have access to coconut water, I did the walnut milk with water, a mountain spring water, especially, you know, from Jamaica. You want a mountain spring water if you're going to use water. You don't want something that hit the earth and went penetrated into the earth. You don't want a well water. You don't want something from an underground spring. You want something that runs off the mountain so it hasn't picked up all those, you know, negative minerals and so forth. So I did the walnut with the spring water, and I sweetened it with dates. You know,
Okay.
not date, this sort date. You know, not no kind of syrup, no agave or maple or even honey. We know honey. I mean, it's sweet, but it's still vomit. It's a regurgitation that the bees
Mm.
produce for their babies. You know, so but anyway, we don't want to go off into that. You know, but the thing is, the walnut, I blended sea moss in it.
Ah.
Sea moss. And I have a sea moss that I harvest in St. Lucia. So it's a nice thick sea moss, and we dry it in the sun and everything. I just soak that sea moss for 12 hours. And then when you blend it, it breaks down smooth. So you don't
Mm.
have to, that's the thing. Many ones think they have to heat sea moss to break it down. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and the sea moss even acts as the emulsifier to keep the milk from separating.
Okay.
So sea moss is very vital, and using it in a milk form is absolutely the way to go. And
Which brings to the
by the way,
next.
I sent you those recipes, so if you can get a hold of them and put them up, those two
Yeah,
recipes, I think the family will really appreciate them.
I'll put them up on my IG when I download them. The CMOS question brings me on to my next question. Can you reverse, or not my next question, somebody's next question? Can you reverse infertility?
Woo! Can you reverse infertility? Yes, it's a big question, you know, but there's many factors. We really got to look at it on an individual level, you know.